What's happening? Man, it's like something, man, that I don't think a lot of people of they don't like see this this connection here with the knights and the Pope. I mean, it's basically, it seems that throughout history, the Pope has been, he is a king. Like, he's a king he's a king of kings. Because the reason, it's not, every different king, he has his own particular knights. But this whole, philosophy of this knighthood, this Scottish rite, emissaries of Jabulon, and King Arthur and his knights of the Round Table, and you got the Knights of the Golden Circle, a Round Table. I mean, these are showing you, there's a connection. You know what I'm saying? And this basically goes back to in the Bible, and it talks about the magicians of Pharaoh. I mean, you could have basically said these are the knights of Pharaoh, because I mean it's like the tale of Merlin. You know what I'm saying? And how he instructs the new king, which is a knight. And basically what it is, but all these knighthoods, go back to the Crusades, and basically, and then you take these crusaders that, a lot of them were from France too, as well as England and most of Europe. But then you get, basically it's like when you send a gang leader into prison, he starts recruiting people in prison. Then when they get out of prison, they spread this recruiting and this doctrine amongst the masses. It's the same way these knights work. That's why you have the knights of these different kings and queens and royalty, or the royalty the next in line to be king or whatever. I mean, it's not ceremonial. They want you to think, oh, it's just ceremonial. These are ceremonial things for, to keep tradition, European tradition. No, dude, that's a fucking lie. These niggas that really still have power, and they have that knighthood mafia that is, and they've got their people in Jerusalem. These people, when we always talk about the Zionists, this is their knights have basically just made it all the way over there. They're in Russia. Putin's a knight. You know what I'm saying? Mandela was a knight. You know what I'm saying? These, this Guy Fawkes guy who, is this, this symbol of rebellion against the system, was a knight of the system. You know what I'm saying? So, basically what I'm saying is basically all these, even the kings, they're subservient to this king, this spiritual king, this kingdom that ain't really a kingdom, but yet is a kingdom. A worldwide kingdom, basically, because they've put their people everywhere. What they do, back in the day when they were just getting around, they'd send their people in to cozy up to, it's right there.
It's gone?
No, it's right there behind me. They'd send their people to cozy up to the local religious people, and then, you know what I'm saying, then they would learn their customs, and then they would learn how to subvert them over to the Pope. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Even if you got, since the kings and their knights are all really, they're loyal to the Pope. You know, in the end, because they have this alliance and they like to put their people in. It's like, you overthrow a guy who isn't friends with you, and then you put in his cousin who's like married to your cousin. You know what I'm saying? And then you guys got your hood nigga in office, basically. So these knights, it's the same thing, man. The personal guard of royalty, or the Pope, which and then they got this guy, he was the Black Pope, and this Black Pope, he was bragging about how he controls all the kings of the earth, and no one even knows that his position even exists. He's the real king. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's that whole golden circle thing. The golden circle is, it's the slave trade and trade, like the East Indian Trading Company, like these international pirates, man, basically. I mean, because these pirates have their own different laws of the sea. So you could be the king of the sea, and who's out there to contest that you're not? You know what I'm saying? So, but then when you come onto the land, different shores, you know what I'm saying? You're only high ranked within your brotherhood members who are there. Because think about it. You have a gang. I got my members over here in New York and all these, seaboard cities. And I got my same people over on the other side when this different port. You know what I'm saying? So collectively, since you are a high member of all of this secret, alliance or this conspiracy, basically, and that's exactly another way that the night, let's say, gang got spread through the world. It was also through pirates. Because back in the day, there was like, look, if you were doomed to a life of boredom, if you just lived in, and just took a profession in your own town, you're never going anywhere. You're never going to really be rich. You know what I'm saying? But if you went and joined these gangs, these pirate gangs, or you go this caravan over there to retake the Holy Land, which, you know what I'm saying, basically the Pope also, he commissioned Muhammad, just like they commissioned all these Greek painters to make all these statues and all these paintings. I mean, because they're a free agent. There is no loyalty there. There's only loyalty is to their own, the Pope. That's their loyalty. So they can, hey, we'll hire Islamicists. We'll hire Greek pedophiles. Homosexuals. We'll hire anyone to work for us. We don't care. There is no preference here. It's like they're already hoarding all the knowledge. I mean, that's another thing. That's a secret of every invading force. Is what they do is they learn your customs, and they incorporate them into their customs. So therefore, the change, the societal change, ain't that great. But they'll hoard all the pure knowledge and then teach it to their higher ups, the people taught real education. They'll be explained, the above and below, the esoteric, exoteric understanding of everything. So it's like in this knight culture, this knight gang, nobility gang, aristocrat gang, has existed, in most cultures all throughout the whole of the world. And I mean, if not, it was imported through these knights. You know what I'm saying? And like the knights used the Norsemen to get them over to Canada. You know what I'm saying? For instance. And where did they learn this route from? And this is where it says that the Great Lakes Indians came from, was from the northeast. This is the same, I think, path that they would have to take. They'd have to island hop, from Iceland, Greenland, and then you'd come up into that big bay, Thunder Bay, or some bay, man, up there in Canada, big old bay. But the thing about these knights, though, they went to the Middle East and they learned all the Kabbalistic knowledge. You know what I'm saying? All the demon working, the ancient Babylonian Hebrew mysticism. This stuff is it's prevalent, throughout the whole earth. And I mean, even then, you got more crude versions of the same knowledge coming from all cultures anyway. I mean, because it's out there, this whole tree of life, the angels, and this Paragathan, geometric, numerological stuff. It's going on all over. But basically, the knights learned this. Then they also learned the Babylonian system of taxery. You know what I'm saying? And making how to manipulate coin, and how to do complex forms of magic, which is to make people believe one thing is another. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one form of magic. It's like, I got control over your mind. I limit the source of information you can get, so you could never understand it anyway. That's one form of magic. I mean, and it's not necessarily I mean, it's evil in the sense that it's evil is supernatural. because the power that people get from it and the results, they get results from doing bad, and that's the, you know, the allure of it. I mean, in your knights, their system of giving debt for, or receipt for gold notes, because knights couldn't travel with the, why travel with a whole bunch of money? Instead, I can stop here at this one post on one side of the water, get a receipt from this guy connected over here on the other side of the water, and then you give me my gold over here, so I ain't got to cart it across the ocean. I mean, for instance, this is where our banking system, that's the Fed. This is the same people, Jesuit, Georgetown, Yale, Skull and Bones. They're the pirates. They're the East Indian Trade Company was bringing in the heroin that they were selling to the Chinese, and they were bringing in the Chinese. I mean, they shanghaied some of these people. You know what I'm saying? It's a big. This is a big part of the you know, the secret society element that exists throughout America and Europe and abroad, the whole earth.